All right, I got here today to test for you guys this kind of interesting laser bore sighter. It comes with your instructions there and battery, and it's pretty simple operation, but contrary to the more traditional type bore sighters I'm used to seeing, at least, this is a magnetic one, and you just simply stick it on the end of the barrel. Now, the way the more traditional bore sighters would work, there's some that are like a rod type, and they're all going to be caliber specific, which is what's nice about this. You can use this on any gun with a magnetic barrel, which is like, gee, I don't know, 99% of guns out there. So there's some types that have a rod, and again, it's caliber specific. You would put it down the barrel, and it's caliber specific because it has to fit perfectly tight. You can't put it in a bigger bore or it'll move around. And it'll have a little laser, on the end there, and so it basically shows you, your potential bullet path there. And then there's some others. You would actually chamber. It's like a makeshift cartridge that has a laser built into it, and you would chamber that, and then it would shine a laser down the barrel. But again, caliber specific, because it would have to it would replicate whatever cartridge you're trying to zero for. So if you had different rifles and whatnot, you'd have to buy different ones for different calibers. So that's what's cool about this is you can use it with any caliber. And you can see these rings here, so that helps get it lined up and centered, and gauge it based off of those rings there, whether you need to go this way slightly or this way or that way or whatever. So those will help you get it nice and centered on there. So I put the battery in there, and it's just real simple operation, just on and off. That's pretty much it. Now, they do make this in red and green. I'll go ahead and put a link for both in the description. I would recommend the green one. It's going to be brighter. I've been out here for a couple hours. It's like 34 degrees. It's not as bright as it was last night. So I think the battery is because it's cold. So it would normally be much brighter than that. That said, it is brighter in person than what it appears on the camera right now. All right, so there she is with the scope mounted up. You see I got the bore sighter on the end there, so I got it pretty well centered. So I got my target set up there. The bore sighter is on, and even on the lowest setting, I can see it no problem. That's 15 yards, by the way, for reference. But considering the fact I can see it no problem on the lowest setting, I don't think you're going to have a problem seeing it, 50, 100 yards or whatever. But I can definitely see it through the scope, no problem, even with the zoomed all the way out. So obviously once I zoom in, I'll be able to see it even easier. And this is in full sun, as you can see there from the shadow. It's really freaking bright out today. So let's see if I can, well, I might have moved. Oh, there it is. I was looking in the wrong spot. The rifle moved a little. You can see it there right above the word made. In the USA, there's the laser on the target there, clearly visible even in full sun. So basically how this works, for those who don't know or have never used one, I've personally never used one, but I know how they work. You'll just basically line up your crosshairs with wherever the dot is on your target, and it'll get you real close to being zeroed, and then you'll just pull off or out your bore sighter there, and just work on fine-tuning it after that. But it helps get you on paper for sighting in your rifle instead of wasting a box of ammo or more shooting at a target however far you have it and completely missing the target and not knowing which way you need to adjust the scope. Do be sure to remove the bore sighter before firing. I'm just taking extra shots here for you guys to verify where the rifle is impacting, but as long as you make a good shot, only one shot is necessary. Alright, let me show you where I'm hitting down here. So there's all 4 or 5 of my shots, so I'm off to the right. So if I have that bore sighter on there, it should have the dot over here, which I believe that was where it was. Let me pop it on there and check real quick. So basically the bore sighter is going to be like, yeah, you're hitting over here. So this is not too beneficial this close range like this. Again, the purpose is for further out. If you want a 100-yard zero, for example, and you want to get it done with one shot basically, or get it real close with one shot and then perfect it with a few more so you don't waste ammo. That's the whole point of the bore sighter. But I still want to do it here just to display the way it works. All right, so I got the rifle perfectly sitting to where the crosshairs are on bullseye, but the laser is in fact right where my little 4 or 5 shot group is off to the right there. Hopefully you can see it even with the holes. If not, I'll move it and show you. Oh, there it is. I can see it. So you should be able to see it there. So, you know, say I just threw the new scope on, and okay, where's this thing actually going to hit? What kind of adjustments do I need to make? I'm aiming at the bullseye, but the laser's telling me I'm going to hit over here. That's where your barrel's actually pointing, is what the laser's saying, the bore sighter there. And as you can see, it is in fact relaying that information to me there. So the crosshairs are currently aimed dead center, but the barrel's pointed off to the right. So I would need to adjust my scope, give it a bunch of clicks to the left to bring it to bullseye here, like what my crosshair is saying. And again, the whole point of that is to save you ammo, so you don't have to take those practice shots. And again, that's not really a problem here at 15 yards, but I've done it plenty of times myself. If you go out 100 yards, start shooting at a target like that, none of them hit, and then you're like, crap, where are they hitting? Especially if you blink every time from the recoil of the gun or whatnot, you don't see where they hit. And sometimes even if you don't blink, it's just difficult to see, you know, depending on the environmental factors and your background and whatnot. You miss and you have no clue where the bullets are going. So that's the whole point of that, is it's going to show you more or less, hey, this is where your bullet's going to go. So if you're aiming dead center, but the dot's like way off here somewhere, then you know it's way off and you need to start making adjustments so that you can get it on paper, not miss the paper. So what you do is basically adjust the scope to where the scope is pointing at the dot, and that's going to have you real close. And at that point, you would take off or take out your bore sighter, in this case off, and then shoot your groups and work on fine-tuning it thereafter. So again, just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to adjust my scope to where the crosshairs line up with the dot, and then we should be on bullseye there. So I'm not going for superb accuracy or anything like that. That's not what that thing is intended for. Again, it's just to get you on target so you can perfect your zero. So I grouped my first group a lot better. I got 3 touching there, but those were my last 2 shots on top of another there. But anyways, other than my horrible shooting there, you can see that I adjusted the crosshairs right on top of where the green dot was pointing, and it brought it right where it should be. So that's how it works. Like I said, cool thing about this one, because it just magnetizes to the end of your barrel there. It'll fit any caliber as long as the barrel's magnetic, which again 99% of guns are. So you don't have to buy one for each specific caliber. This will work on all as long as your barrel is magnetic. So like I said, I'll put a link in the description to both the red and the green, although I recommend the green. And that's going to do it, guys. So appreciate you for watching, and I hope to catch you on the next one.